When most people think digital nomad, they immediately think of the extremes. They think it's all glamorous and you're gonna work on a laptop on a beach like this, clients are gonna be paying you passive income, or they think you're crazy. They think, why are you living in these crazy, dangerous countries? Why are you in Brazil? Why are you in Colombia? Oh, if you go to Thailand, you might get kidnapped. Or they think it's a life that's not really achievable. They put it off. I'm gonna do that in 10 years. Oh, when I'm older. Oh, when I retire, I'm gonna travel. And they put it off to all of these extremes when the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna give you 3 ways that you can be a digital nomad. I'm gonna share with you exactly how I've done it as well. And then I'm gonna share with you my personal experiences and my journey on how I got here. Now, if you're thinking not everyone can be a digital nomad, or if you're thinking I don't wanna travel full time, that's okay. I still challenge you to travel and to live this life for a little bit if you can, because what happens when you ask older folks, older people, what they wish they would have done? A lot of them say travel. If you ask a person that's struggling in a job, what are you gonna do when you retire? What are you gonna do when you're old? They all say travel. If you ask someone, what are you gonna do if you won the lottery tomorrow? Most of the time, they're gonna say travel. So why not eliminate all of that? Eliminate all the guesswork. Don't wait till you're retired, but do it today in an actionable way. I remember when I got my first hint of travel and how much I loved it. I was 19 years old and I was going to school, and one of my best friends in this school was an abroad student from Thailand. And it was this foreign place, literally across the world from the US. And I never would have thought in a million years that I'm gonna end up in Thailand. And this was a while ago. This is before the whole digital nomad movement was as big as it is right now. And we started making jokes about, hey man, what if I went back with you and traveled to Thailand? And then we started talking about it, and I realized this was an amazing idea and that I wanted to do it, and I might not get another chance to do it, because I didn't expect to work remotely and travel full time like I do now. So literally a week later, I bought my flight to Thailand with him, and I didn't know anyone there besides him and his family. And then I ended up telling my mom, and I told her it's all booked, I'm all ready to go. I didn't ask for permission, I wanted to go, so I freaking went. I figured I spent so much time in school and studying, doing stuff I don't want to be doing. Now I deserve a trip for myself. I went, had an amazing experience. I learned so much. I tried all this different food. I learned about a brand new culture, a brand new religion that I had no idea about. I met so many amazing people. I made friends. I was training parkour at the time, and I had a lot of fun with the people that I met. And ultimately, I came back a completely changed person. And I had a new goal. I had a new purpose. I wanted to continue traveling. I didn't want this to be that one experience that I always look back on for the rest of my life. I remember when I was 19 and I did that 1 month long adventure. No, I wanted to make sure that I was living a life that I actually enjoyed. So my goal was to work remotely. Now remember, this was almost 10 years ago at this point. So there weren't all these remote jobs like we have now. And if you told me the word entrepreneur or business owner, I would have thought it's someone sitting in a suit in some corner office, working 100 hours a week, hating his life. But little did I know, I was going to become an entrepreneur, but a different kind of entrepreneur. The first way that you can be a digital nomad is by working for a company and by working remote. I have another video titled How I Became a Digital Marketer or something along those lines at 20 years old. You can check out that video for more actionable steps, but that's the first step. Learn skills, get a job that pays you while you can be remote. I've met a lot of people that do this. It can certainly be an option for you. The second way is freelancing. So it's learning high income skills and then freelancing, meaning getting clients yourself. Now at this point, you don't have employees. Clients are paying you to deliver a service to them. They're working with you directly. They're working with you one-on-one. Now the problem with this is that it's very time heavy. You have to deliver all the work. You have to talk to the clients. Then you also have to go out and get new clients. It's a lot of work in the beginning, and this is where most people stop. They settle. However, if you can get to about 5 or 6K per month, which is roughly a full-time income, you can then transition into entrepreneur, meaning you start hiring other people to deliver the work for you. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is what all the big companies do. Think about a plumber. When you call someone to fix the toilet, does the owner of the company come to your house? No. You pay them $100, $150, and then they pay their employee $50 to come to your house and actually fix your toilet. This is how business works. So at this point, you're transitioning, you're hiring people, and you're transitioning out of freelancer, solopreneur, into business owner. And the crazy thing is, you're gonna work way less and make more profit when you make this transition. And this is the best one because it allows you to reclaim your time and actually make more profit. You can hire an account manager to do all the meetings for you. And this model, by being an actual business owner and a digital nomad, has allowed me to scale my business to over $20,000 per month while traveling full time. And I get to work less because I have employees that are doing the actual service delivery. One of the main benefits of being a digital nomad is the place you're gonna go to is going to be way cheaper than probably where you currently live. If you go to a place like Thailand or Colombia or Mexico or Brazil, which we're here right now, a lot of times things are much cheaper than if you live in another part of the world. The second thing is that your quality of life is going to be so much better. I mean, literally, when I moved to Medellin, Colombia, for the same price as my apartment in Las Vegas, I was getting a chef, I had a personal trainer, I had a really nice apartment, I had a cleaner, and I had all of these amazing things, and I wasn't spending any more per month. The next thing is you are constantly going on new adventures. You're exploring new areas, new waterfalls, new nature hikes, new food, a new culture. You're constantly doing things that you probably wouldn't be doing in your hometown with all new people. And the other huge benefit is you're gonna meet like-minded individuals. The friends that you make while traveling, while being a digital nomad, are typically like-minded to you. They're into personal development, they're into self-improvement, they've run some kind of freelance business, or maybe they make money online in some other way that you haven't heard of. And look, there's so many more benefits that I can go on and on about the culture and learning a new language and learning about new holidays, but let's look at some of the downsides of traveling. The first myth that we need to demystify is working on a beach from your laptop. I hate this one because it's not true. You're not gonna get anything done, you're gonna be sunburned, and then you're gonna sip a pina colada, and then you're gonna feel brain fog. You're not gonna get any good, quality, productive work done when you're living this way. It's great for the Instagram photos, I've taken them, but you're not gonna get much done, which leads me into my second point. Second point is your productivity will suffer if you are traveling constantly. I mean, think about it. If you're always going to a new city, a new place, what do you have to do? You have to find a new gym, a new co-working area with good Wi-Fi. Not every country has that. Then you have to find good food places that are healthy. And then maybe even you have other hobbies that you want to do, like surfing or yoga or anything else that you might be into. You have to reset every single time. Same thing with your friends. You have to find a new friend group. You have to find new people to hang out with. And although it's pretty easy to meet people when you're traveling, it's still something else on your mind that is an uncertainty, which can harm your productivity. And even when you do make friends, when you do meet people, I see a lot of travelers get what I call lost in the sauce, meaning they go on so many adventures, they have a little bit too much fun, they start partying, they start going out, they stop caring about their work as much. What started off as like this productive trip that gives them energy and gives them inspiration to do good quality work ends up being on the back burner. And what happens? You lose clients, you start making less money, you're showing up to meetings late, maybe even hungover, and this happens all too frequently. So you need to make sure that you are productive and you still keep taking your business, your freelance business, very seriously. Now this is less serious for the employees that are watching this that are working remote. And hey, that's cool too. If you have a remote job and you're traveling, that's amazing. I guess you can still do those things, just don't get fired. And one thing I do to avoid these downsides is I'll stay in a location for 3 months or 6 months and really live there, get to know my area, make a friend group, and make some kind of routine while I continue growing my business. And maybe to you that sounds like it's too long. Maybe you just want to travel every single 2 weeks to a new city, to new countries and all that. You definitely can, just understand the disadvantages. So let's talk about safety. This is one of the massive disadvantages that everyone likes to scream and yell on the top of their lungs. Why are you in Brazil? Why are you in Colombia? But at the end of the day, think about your town that you live in right now. Do you have an area of town that you know is dangerous and that you avoid? The answer is probably yes. If you live in any major city, there's probably a section of town you don't want to be in when it gets dark. And it's the same way when you go to these countries. Is it slightly more dangerous? Of course. When you go to Colombia, it's more dangerous than the US, But as long as you don't walk around with a Rolex or your laptop in your hand and your new iPhone in your hand, you're gonna be okay. But the same rules apply in any major city and probably in the city that you live in right now in a bad neighborhood. So this is just common sense that you can take with you anywhere you travel. And the next thing that you wanna do is start researching this city that you go into. What are the common thieves doing? How are they stealing things? How are people taking advantage of tourists? Most times when you get robbed, it's not exactly what you think. It's not someone going up to you with a knife or a gun. It's just a taxi driver overcharging you. It's you wanting to buy a hat and they're charging you triple the price just because you're a foreigner. When you get robbed, this is the most common way to get robbed. You just get upcharged for everything. But if you take this advice, do your due diligence and travel in groups, travel with friends that you meet, you're most likely going to be fine. Travel light and no one's gonna mess with you. I've never really had a sketchy encounter, and all my friends that I've met, pretty rare that something really bad happens. Sometimes maybe you get pickpocketed and they steal your phone, but even that's rare and I don't hear about it very often. Last and final disadvantage is that you're gonna be on flights very often. Again, this is up to you, so it depends. How much do you wanna stay in one country? When do you wanna go to the next country? And so forth. If you're moving too frequently, you're always in an airport, you're always trying to read things in different languages, and a lot of times it can be very annoying to do this. But again, that's completely up to you, and that's another reason why I like to travel for 3 months or 6 months at a time. So start traveling as soon as possible. You don't need to make that much money. If you're making $5,000 or $6,000 per month in profit, which is very easy to do. I have people inside of my community that are doing this within the first 2 months of taking my business model and applying it to their life. So it's absolutely possible. Learn skills, start making money online, and just start traveling. And you can even do a test trip. If you don't know if this life is going to be good for you, go somewhere for a month, go somewhere for 2 weeks. Maybe it makes you a little bit nervous, but that's okay. Get out of your comfort zone, and you might love it so much, this might become part of your routine.